beautiful lawn.
Thank you.
And beautiful flowers.
It's a full-time job.
I'm sure it is in this heat.
I'm hiring if you want to work.
No, we have enough at home, thank you.
Oh, let's see if I can make this video. There's too many noises out here. The lawn looks perfect, by the way. There's nothing else I could do to it. It's just gorgeous. So I figured what I'd do real quick is tell you about the best pool cleaner after buying many of them. And there's a concept that you need to understand first. So let's go over the concept. So what's the concept? I want you to look in my spa. Okay, if you can see in this spa, yes, there's some leaves and big earth particles. And when someone comes by and uses a net or mesh of some kind, they're going to get those. But there is a dust, and it's almost like a pollen. See it over here? Maybe I'll go underwater and show it to you. But that dust doesn't get captured by anything that uses a mesh. So for years, I'm going through the palms, for years I've been using an automatic cleaner that uses a mesh bag. And the problem with that is it doesn't get that fine dust. Secondly, we have a pool service down here, and almost all your pool services, the pool services use a portable clean system that uses a mesh bag. Again, the key word is mesh. So, see this mesh? Anything that is mesh, it's not going to capture this fine dust, which is dust, pollen, air particles, and it's still going to be there. As a matter of fact, I told my wife, the pool cleaner came by and cleaned the pool, looked great till you went underwater and looked down at the bottom and you saw this fine mesh. So how do you cure that? You've got to run that through your filter system. So we have a sand filter like most of you guys have. Some people have a cartridge, but we use a sand filter system that catches 99% of all that fine dust. So the cleaner that I'm using, that I now use on this pool and on the pool at home, is a suction side cleaner. Now, on this pool, I have a suction side port. On the pool at home, I have to actually feed it through inside one of my skimmers. So I do lose a skimmer, but you don't have to run this thing all the time. So let me show you how this thing works. So this is the system set up and running. So I have an actual suction side hole here. This is sucking into my actual sand cleaner. Then I go up to here, and this is an additional piece that I recommend you buy. This is a leaf catcher, and this leaf catcher, you can see what it catches. There's all these leaves and acorns, and it spins and it all catches there, and that keeps it from going to the filter system. The filter system will still catch it, but this is easy to clean out. And this thing will be packed sometimes, especially after a storm. Then all these little sections just sort of snap together. And then the other part of this, I think I'm going to go ahead and shut it off to show you. First of all, these little sections here, they just sort of pop apart. I don't want to pop it because I'll lose all my water in my hose. This is the main cleaner right here. Okay, so what ends up happening is this little piece here attaches onto this. This thing here, so if it ever gets clogged, if you ever get anything here, you can reach in here, you can take it out. But basically, as the wheels turn, these little flippers flip. So you have a suction, and these things flip. At the same time, underneath, this little thing spins here. Now it doesn't necessarily give you a lot of scrubbing action. It doesn't necessarily rub against the bottom, but it really does clean well. So everything gets sucked up in here. This gets put onto here. This just goes onto here, just like that. And that's it. And I want to fill it back up with water. Folks, best pool cleaner. This pool bottom is absolutely spotless. The pool cleaning girl that we have that comes by, she loves when we have this thing hooked up because she has to do almost nothing here. It's really not even worth having her come. She just does the chemical test, the salt level test, and does a basic cleaning, flushes back, flushes the filter. But man, she's due to come tomorrow, and we haven't touched this pool, and it is absolutely spotless. Absolutely spotless. The only place that you will see this dust where the cleaner can't get to, see right there? I don't know if you can see that or not. But right there, there's some of this dust there. And that dust and pollen was all over the bottom of this pool. And the reason being is that she uses a mesh vacuum system, the same that most people do, the same that most of these cleaners do, so that anything that uses a mesh will not collect that. So it's pretty simple to hook up. I'm going to put a link to this cleaner down in the description below. I always link to a web page. I'll link to this one. Now you're going to have to sort of adjust the system. So if you own a pool, you understand that you can change like your deep skimmer versus your suction side skimmer. So you need to play with the suctions and flows to get this thing to operate right. It's not a fast moving, it's a slow moving. They show you how to do that. The next thing is they make this model, and they make a model that's larger, but I will tell you, I didn't buy the larger unit. For my other pool, which is a full 29,000, what is it, 17 by 30 or whatever, full-size pool, I still use this small one. However, I had to order, I believe, 2 extra pieces of hose. So I will link to the leaf cleaner, which is an option. I will link to additional pieces of hose. You probably need 2 of them, because you want this thing, from wherever it's plugged in, you want it to at least go about a foot past here when you assemble this hose. And yes, it will climb these walls, and it'll sit there and spin near the top, and it'll climb all these walls. Seldom does it get stuck. It will not clean this loop area. And the only other caution I'll give you is, on my pool at home, I have 2 large vents that are sitting on the bottom of the pool. So I have 2 large intakes at the bottom, and once in a while that unit will actually sort of hang up on those vents, and I'll know it because that hose is just sitting there. So I'll just have to pull it off. That's the only drawback I've found with it, and I don't think the larger unit would cure that, to be honest. So I just went with the smaller unit. So anyways, guys, understand the difference between the two. I'll put a link to them down below. Hope it helped. Best investment I ever made. Period. Hands down. Duh.